Hey everyone, we are the Gratitude Girls.
Gratitude girls are in the house. Hi, Lori. How are you?
Hi, Catherine.
We're here. This is the day of the month, the day of the week that I know it's Gratitude Girls Day, and then it's Tuesday, and then it's Wednesday. This is the name of the day for me. So I'm really excited for so many reasons. Maybe we'll take a minute to our audience and give them a chance to get to know us if they're new, and if they're not new, well, we'll reinforce who we are. While Lori is doing the tech, I'll introduce myself. My name is Rara, and I like to walk into the room and say, Rara's in the house. I'm living and broadcasting to you right now from Niagara-on-the-Lake, Ontario, Canada, and I'm here with my very techie, amazing partner who is handling the fort right now, so to speak. Can you, Lori, what do you say? Can you tell us?
Yes, I am Lori Delcoradecki. I'm in a little tiny town outside of Nashville, Tennessee.
And tonight we're going to share with you why we're here with Gratitude Girls and how this came about. Why is there this show, and what is it that we're doing, and how do we have some amazing guests and friends? And tonight we have a great guest with us as well. So we'll start with giving you our journey, what happened. We're going to be celebrating 10 years next month. So we're really just jumping for joy about this, and we're so grateful about it. Lori and I met in Salt Lake City. Lori tells the story so well. If you could take us down that journey, Lori, as if that was the day that we met, can you share that with our audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So Catherine and I both are in a direct sales company called Send Out Cards. And in that company, we have a international convention every year. And each year there's like a theme for the year. So back in 2013, the theme was gratitude. And each year there's a person that is voted by their peers. So not by the company, but by all the customers and distributors in the company. They put in their votes for who they think visualizes, or I can't think of the word, has the ambiance of that word. And so for gratitude, so our CEO gets up on stage and he starts talking about all the different accomplishments that this person has gotten and all the different accolades that they've gotten and received. And he gives little different tips and tricks and hints. And then he finally announces who it is. And so he announced Catherine. So I am in the audience, and I, of course, am one of those techie people. So I'm videotaping as well as taking pictures, so I can create cute little cards and all this kinds of stuff. And then after Catherine is up there a minute, he says, well, for the first time ever, and it never happened again since either, that there was a tie. And so then he starts telling all the information about the other person. And I kept thinking, who could that be? I had been in the company a really long time. So I was like, who could that be? It could be this person. Nope, this person's out, because then he said another clue and kept thinking. And then he ended up saying my name. And I was like, oh, wow. So Catherine and I literally met on stage in front of thousands of people.
I remember that day. I love when you walk us through that journey, Lori, because I remember it. I remember when Cody called my name and my knees were shaking. I could barely get up there. And when he called your name, and I'd love our audience to know this about you, Lori has received so many accolades for giving the most gifts in our company. Now, I was wondering, what is it like to receive a gift from someone who gives gifts? Just thought, I would like to know her. Little did I know that I would meet you on stage and be your partner. And what does Lori do? Minutes after she meets me, she gives me a gift for which I'm looking at almost 10 years later, right in front of me. So Lori, true to exactly who you are and how you live and what you do, not only with gratitude, but you are such a big giver. And this opportunity that when we met, gave us the idea that we wanted to share our gratitude and have people share gratitude from all over the world. So here we are 10 years later, speaking to different people from all over the world and hearing their gratitude stories. And tonight will be no exception to the rule. We have an amazing guest that I am going to read to you, and then I'm going to tell you a little bit about our guest, some personal information. So first, I'd like you to think about who you're looking at on the screen. Our guest tonight is Fran Laws. Fran is a very passionate person about health and longevity. As a native Torontonian, Fran has raised her family in Canada and has deep roots in her community. Fran is a champion in the true sense of the word, an award-winning Olympic gymnast championship winner. Say that 3 times fast. In her teens, and Fran has taken the course of focus and drive into her adult life. With one amazing daughter and son-in-law and 3 beautiful grandchildren, Fran and her husband, Dave, are living life to the max, together for 54 years this year. And we will be bringing Dave on before the end of the show so you can meet Fran's amazing husband and partner. Design and fashion are how Fran colors people's lives and homes, complementing her passion for a healthy lifestyle. The people that are in Fran's circle of influence and in her circle of team building have the benefit of over 2 decades of experience in the profession of network marketing as well. Community and volunteer work is an easy choice for Fran as she continues to mentor in the field of spiritual and emotional awakening and focuses on moving forward in life. Health and exercise are a few of the subjects that you will hear Fran talk about, along with her dedication towards her growing team believe, as she calls them. Fran's family is key, and everything else revolves around that. Max International is the company that has Fran's full attention for the past 10 years. Gratitude is a daily ritual for Fran and her husband, Dave, as they continue to build their relationships at home and with their friends all around the globe. Fran is a very dear and personal friend of mine, and I know she will be of yours once you get to know her. Fran, welcome to the Gratitude Girls.
Thank you so much, Laura, for the introduction. That was very sweet of you.
You're very welcome.
Both of you ladies.
Fran, you look beautiful, and color and design looks like it is a natural for you. So this is an amazing color. Can you talk to us a little bit about this championship mindset that you have? And then I'm going to ask you a little bit about design. So you're a champion. Once a champion, always a champion. Can you tell us, what was it like in your teens to have that mindset and to have that discipline?
Well, it was early mornings, practically every day of the week. There were 6 days of the week that I would work out. I had a dear friend that took me there. So that's how I started doing gymnastics in the first place. Then I started teaching gymnastics to the younger crowd that were around. And I had a coach that helped me keep on track. And it was hard work, but it was just what I needed at the time in my life, because I ended up having a mom that wasn't well, and I realized how much my health was important to me. And so that's another reason why I was really working at it. But I couldn't maintain that because my mom was not well, and I decided to stop the gymnastics at that time. And unfortunately, but I left with the honors, and that made me feel good.
Well, that's quite an
accomplishment.
Oh, sorry, Fran, excuse me.
It's okay.
It's quite an accomplishment, and having a mindset and having that behind you, I'm sure you've brought it with you. I'm sure it's followed you through life, because here we are a few years later still talking about it, right? And I can see the smile on your face when we talk about it. I can almost feel what it was like when you talk about the early mornings. So for our audience who's wondering, what is it like to have an Olympic championship mindset? Could you give us maybe 1 or 2 words? What was it that you told yourself when you got up in those mornings and you were in competition and winning?
Well, the main thing is that I was a little warrior and I was very energetic, and I was creative with my routines, helping my coach, because I had to do the job, but he would be the one that would help me to be able to do what I wanted to create. So that was kind of an interesting way of doing it. Believed in myself, but I was also able to enjoy the fact that I had other people there that were supportive of me. And I believe life is about people and about helping each other. And he was there to help me. My friend was there to help me, and I was there to help them.
Great.
And it is a team sport as well. Gymnastics is a team sport because
So
you work together.
So in 2 words, it's fun, it's belief, and it was your coach and your team sport. Because if somebody's looking to do something, there's some factors here, right? To be able to really, you don't do it alone. You didn't do that all by yourself, but you did it. And we're really happy to hear about that. Lori, do you have any questions about Fran at that point in her life? I wanted to talk about design. So I don't know if you had any questions about her championship mindset.
Yeah. So when you know, everybody, right, has mishaps, right? Right. Gymnastics, you fall down and, you got to get back up, or you don't get back up. So it's a choice, right? So the same thing. What was your drive to keep going once you did fall down, and no, I'm not going to stop. I'm going to get back up and I'm going to do this. I'm going to win.
Well, you just have to. That's all there is to it. It's a case of have to, and just keep trying at it, because that's what it's all about. I mean, life is ups and downs, and so is any sport you're doing or any activity you're doing. You're going to have your ups and downs. You're going to have blunders, or I call them faults, and that goes along with life too. So it's really a case of just keep trying and believing in yourself, and striving to do better and grow. And that's basically what my life has been like for a long time. I'm still doing that at 75. So
that's great advice. That's a great question, Lori, because this advice pertains to almost anything. Right. So Fran, let's move to the design aspect, because I'm looking at you and I'm looking at the colors that you're wearing and the colors behind you and the flowers. And I'm wondering, you've just put yourself together. What brought you into the field of art and design? How, and maybe it's more about, like, you'll explain it, but there's so many questions we want to ask you tonight. Like, how did you end up from being a champion in gymnastics and then ending up in design?
Oh, well, that's a lot of information in between there. Remember where I'm at here. There's a lot of years there. Well, I went from, okay. Well, I went to a girls' school in Toronto, Branksome. I don't know if I should be mentioning names, but I'm proud enough to do that. And and it was a class, it was a design, there was design and all kinds of activities at Branksome that were pertaining to life in general, and design was definitely one of them. So when a situation arose, I ended up, my husband had a company that was selling office furniture, and he needed a designer. And because I'd had design experience, he said to me, "Why don't you work as my designer?" And I said, "To work together? Oh boy, that means, that's a big commitment." And we had quite a few turns in the road, like every marriage does. And at this point in time, we were coming out of a situation that was mind-boggling, and we were going to work together. So that was really quite an experience for me. But I'm so grateful that he asked me, first of all, that he had enough thought that I could do with him this business. So it was really exciting for me to take my challenge of doing different offices, and it really was fun for me. It still is fun for me, but it was fun to challenge a big floor or 2 floors and decorate them color wise, carpeting, artwork, through, window decorations and window treatments and just everything in the offices that everybody needed. I love doing the boardrooms. I love doing the executive offices. Because it became personal. I would make them personal to the person that actually was running the companies. So that was challenging and exciting, and again, discipline and timing, and discipline and trying to keep everybody going and keep everybody on track. But it was so rewarding because it was a start and a finish, and that really gave me a lot of gratification.
You could see it.
Right.
So, are there any tips that you would give to somebody who's thinking about design? So you talked about a boardroom, some room in our house. Just a quick tip. What would you suggest to someone when they want to design something? Should they call a designer? Should they do it themselves? Do they call you after they make the decision? Like what's some of Lori's doing?
Well, for me personally, they can call me and I can come in and do a consultation with them. And
so let me ask you a question a different way. So Lori's doing a house. So let's just say they can't call you and you can't. So just a tip for anyone anywhere in the world. So what do you suggest that they do to pull together this idea of decorating a room
I always find a palette in the room. I find something in the room that will be my palette. It may be a color scheme that you like, or I will find a pillow that I think the colors will go in a room, and I will show them to the client. And then we'll work from there and figure out what the colors would be and what the actual, the whole theme will head towards. That's how I start. I always have a palette.
Good tip. Lori, do you have any questions? Because you have a whole house to decorate. Yeah. So that now's your
chance. You're getting your house done.
Now's your chance, Lori.
Yes. Well, my favorite is, as far as I love pure white. It's crisp, it's clean, so most of my house, all my walls are pure white. And then I have accents, my kitchen cabinets are a gray, a medium gray. And then my couches are a super dark gray. But that way I can do each room, because I'm one of those that likes to change out things often, once a month. I change the whole room.
And you can do that.
Right. So if I have neutral colors, then I can change out the pillows and the blankets and knickknacks.
And flowers. Whatever. Yes. Whatever. Definitely. That's fabulous.
Great tip. Okay, so that's really good. Our audience now tonight can go and grab a pillow and take a palette and take Lori's idea of white and changing the room around. That's fantastic. I care for antiques. We are really big advocates of antique furniture.
I have a lot of it.
So we put that into our mix. So we have a lot of very old pieces that look good. And then we mix that with maybe some contemporary. So that's our decor. So we have a really nice, interesting mix here tonight. So Fran, I'd like to move a little bit closer to what's going on in your life now, along with your design, and talk about Max International. So now you talk to people about the design of their home and the design of their health. You really stayed you picked a palette, right? Your palette was designing one's life. So can you tell us a little bit about how did you get introduced to Max?
Well, a dear friend of mine I worked with before in another company, and she said to me, you have to see what this is all about. And as soon as she told me about glutathione, which a lot of people don't know about, I knew about it. And she said, you have to come and see this. This is remarkable. They have something that raises the glutathione in your body, and that helps your cells to develop and be healthy and to have optimal health. Because if your cells are healthy, then your body's healthy. It's as simple as that. But it was made with something that was unique to the world.
You were introduced introduced by a friend. Okay, so now let's ask you another tip. I don't know if everybody knows this, but you told me this, so I want to share it.
Mhm.
What's the benefit of going into a cold shower?
Yes, you're right. That's right. I did say that to you. It's definitely raises your glutathione, but who's going to stand in a cold shower every day? So
Right.
this is where we found that the products are helping everybody on a daily basis to maintain their glutathione. And as we age, it decreases every 10 years. So at my age, mine would have been way down here, but
Well,
I'm
Fran,
not.
I don't know if you watch Mel Robbins, but she dumps herself into
Yes.
dunks
Yes.
herself into a barrel with ice.
Mm.
So Lori, I know that you have questions for Fran about gratitude. So I would like to pass the floor on to you.
Oh, I'll bring your chair over. That little.
Sure.
Sure, yeah. So while he's getting situated, tell us just like, this is the Gratitude Girl show. So tell us one thing in your life. We know that there's millions of things that you're grateful and thankful for, but just tell us one story of something that you're grateful and thankful for in your life.
Well, I'm grateful for this young man right here.
Hi, Dave.
Hi, how are you?
Good. Fran, we don't see Dave. There we go. Awesome.
It might be a little better. There we go.
Thank you.
Is that better? Can you see him now? Stay close. Stay close.
Yeah.
So I am very grateful for the times we've had.
I'm grateful that I'm not in the picture.
Told you, might be shy. He's not shy at all, but not wanting to be on camera. There you go. So come on in.
Well, I don't know what I'm doing here.
There you are.
Yeah,
So
that-
Fran, share with us a little bit about what you're grateful for. It's a great story to hear when we listen to gratitude from people from all over the world. And tonight, all of our audience is going to get to hear your story.
Wow. I don't know where to begin. There's a
Well,
lot of things.
Think of one thing that you're grateful for, and then we can talk about that. And then,
My family. I mean, that comes first. I am a spiritual person, so I believe in having God in my life. And Dave and I have felt we've grown in that area together, which is a really nice thing to have happen. And we have a wonderful family, as Robert read that there was, I have my daughter, and my son-in-law and the 3 grandchildren. So they are the top of the list. And then I have so many friends, and through business and through all the different groups of people that I'm with, I have people in that I'm grateful for that are in my business. They're like a family to me. That I'm different organizations that I've been with, and I do have a group of people that I work with on a weekly basis that I sponsor and enjoy every week. So that's special to me. They're dear to my heart. I've worked with teens in the community, and I'm grateful for that time because that allowed me to grow up, and I grew up with them, and they are really special in my life. I know I'm missing things, but I think that today I'm so grateful to be able to change people's lives with their health and change people's lives with whatever I'm doing. I believe that I have the courage from myself, but from my God of my understanding. And I believe that I do touch people's lives, and at least I hope I am touching people's lives and making their lives a little bit better every day. So yes.
Thank you for sharing that, Fran. And now that you have the love of your life sitting next to you, Dave, it's nice of you to join us, and thank you so much. What is it like to be married to such a colorful, caring, wonderful woman? Could you give us a little insights on that?
Well, you're 100% right. Yeah, like I know this is a gratitude meeting, and I have in my life so much to be grateful for. But the biggest thing I have to be grateful for, honestly, is the love of my life. That we've been married for over 50 years now. I can't believe I'm saying that, but because I just turned 52 the other day. But honestly, she is a wonderful person, like just a wonderful person inside and outside. And I'm so honored that she's my wife, and that it's amazing that anybody could love me for that long. Believe me, has to be a saint. So it really is. It's a phenomenal experience to be married to a person that is so passionate about a lot of things in life, and she puts her whole heart into it, and she thinks of you first instead of her, and I think that really has certainly found me in great stead, because she is a terrific person.
Oh, that is so wonderful to hear. I'm going to listen to this show over and over again to hear what you said, because I took it in, I absorbed it, but I think they were just such amazing words. Every wife, every partner would only wish to hear their spouse say that about them. Dave, you've just raised the bar for husbands right now. I just want you to know that. So we're going to have all our husbands listen to what you said, and we're going to repeat after you. And we want them to recite that to us. So thank you. Don't go anywhere. Stay right there. You're just raising the vibration along with the glutathione. Fran, we like to pass the show over to our guests. And tonight we'd like to drop the mic to you, give you the opportunity, if you would like to have it, to ask Lori and I a question. Of course, it's an unrehearsed question. We have no idea what you're going to ask us, so we're going to be sitting on the edge of our chair. Let us know the question and who you're asking, and then we'll be happy to answer it.
Okay. Well, to my dear friend, Catherine, Rara is in the house. I want to ask you, what is the most fond miracle in your life that you can remember and cherish?
Oh, thank you. That's a really great question. There are many miracles, so you want me to choose one. So I'll choose the fact that my husband and I, so it's about husbands tonight. Dave, you sort of led me right into it. Even if I was going to talk about my 7 grandchildren, I'm going to talk about my husband. The fact that we were divorced for 16 and a half years and got back together. The belief in ourselves and myself, knowing that every single day he was going to come back. I knew that. I didn't know how long it would take. Like you said, Dave, it's a miracle that you think that, that however you said about Fran loving you and being married to you, it's a miracle that after 16 and a half years, that even though I believed it, that my husband would come back. Like I knew it, but yet I was still quite surprised. So to me, that's a miracle. And there's so much of a story that goes along with that. So I believe that when we have that deep-rooted belief, no one can shake it. Nothing could happen. We have this little verse between us that we don't believe anything we see or hear. We wait until we have told each other that we are unequivocally communicating this. We don't make any assumptions. So the miracle of him and I getting back together. And now we took the term "till death do us part" to another level. Thank you for that question, Fran. Do you have a question for Lori?
Yeah, I sure do. I know that you've got So Blessed on your pillow there, and I feel very blessed to be on this show, first of all, but I want to hear about some of the things that you feel really blessed about.
Okay. Oh my goodness. Well, the same thing. I could say so many things. So the same thing, we'll narrow it down to a few.
Thank you.
And but yeah, so yes, I'm so very blessed for my children. God gave me some wonderful children, and I have 4 here, 1 in heaven, and was very blessed with their dad. Was my husband for 20 years, and he's also graduated to heaven. and holding our youngest baby for the first time himself. And then when I thought that I was just going to be this powerful, independent businesswoman the rest of my life, and for 7 years I did that and was at the height of my career. And then God told me that I was going to get married again. And for a while I argued a little bit, but didn't think, and then I finally settled thinking, oh, okay, I'll get married again and it'll just, it'll be okay. But God doesn't work that way. And it is absolutely amazing. He brought a wonderful man into my life, and I felt the second I laid eyes on him, and that's a whole nother story. But I prayed that the second I laid eyes on him, that God would tell me that it was him. And then when I felt that, then I questioned that. But it was, and we got married in 4 months, and actually tomorrow is our 2nd anniversary. So he was a widower also. And so we've been together for almost 2.5 years, but tomorrow's our 2nd anniversary.
Oh, congratulations.
That's terrific.
That's wonderful.
That is something to celebrate, Lori. Fran, those are great questions. Thank you. Thank you so much. Lori, do you have any questions that you would like to ask Fran or Dave before? I have one more final one, but I'll save it for last.
Well, tell us, since you guys did say that it's been over 50 years. And I joked with my husband saying, you got to, my deal with God is 105, and I'm going to have all my faculties and I'm going to go in my sleep. And so, so he's 7 years older than me. So I told him, so you have to make it to 112. So be prepared.
Good luck with that.
So tell us one, just, the same thing. There's so many tips you could say, but tell us one tip of how to stay married for over 50 years.
Yes, dear.
Oh, Dave, that's good.
Probably patience and forgiveness, 2 things that are very big in any relationship. But love, being grateful for each other and loving each other. Really from the heart. It is a relationship of love, and that's the only way. We did get remarried. We had our 2nd marriage, so we know that you have to work at it. In the 2nd marriage, we worked a heck of a lot harder than we did the first. We communicated better, and we're grateful.
That's a great piece of advice. Yes, dear, to the husband who are watching. That's best advice.
That's
and
probably the best advice ever, right?
Ever. Best advice ever. Now, Fran, I wanted to ask you a question before we wrap up the show. And the question is, because you are building your team and you have a family and your husband right next to you for 54 years this year, and you have a life that you're rebuilding with business. If somebody wants to go into a business, I'll just say, like, as a mature entrepreneur, right? I think you like the term. You like the term.
I like
Yes.
seniorpreneur.
I know you do. And I was leading into that. I know you like the term seniorpreneur. What would you say is a piece of advice that you can give to someone who's saying, well, maybe I can't do it, or maybe I can't start a business, or maybe I can't pursue that, or I need to see the results right away, because there's so many things in life where we're in a hurry for everything, right? What advice would you give to someone going into business as a seniorpreneur?
Well, as a seniorpreneur, you do have experience. Life has given you experience. You can't possibly get to 75, in my case, and not have had experiences that help you to start to enjoy the privileges of working a home-based business. So you do learn to help other people, which is one of my caregiving skills. And you're also learn about yourself, and you learn your personal growth, and you learn how to challenge yourself But at the same time, it's fun and it's family. It's like a big family. There are so many things that go along with exactly what my beliefs are. So it's not hard for me. And I don't think I know that I'm working with people all the time, all over the world, and everybody's different. But if I can treat everybody the same and enjoy them for who they are and what they are, they're all gems. They're all golden nuggets that I can cherish for many years, because these are friendships. That's what's going to happen, is I'm having friendships all the time. And at this age, you have less and less friends. But in my case, I have more and more friends because I'm building relationships with people, and I love that. And being honest.
That's wonderful. So for our audience, you are an associate of Max International. You're building a team. Full disclosure, we are customers of Fran's, and we are very proud customers. And the way that you take care of us as your customers, and the way that you care about what happens, and the way you care about what is in my water bottle is really important.
Yes, very important.
It's
Lots
very
of water.
important.
Lots of water.
Lots of water, and what we put in that water bottle, and then what we take.
Yes.
Fran's very great when it comes to rituals because she has the mind of a champion. Fran is once a champion, always a champion. And Fran approaches life like that. So I'm very proud to be able to say that I am under your wing as your champion, so that you can teach us more about how to raise our glutathione, raise our levels. And in case we didn't know, Fran reminds us, regardless of what we do, those levels are going to go down. So we better do something to pick them up. And in case you think it's just not going to happen to you, Fran reassures us that it will happen to everyone. We will have the lowering of our glutathione in our bodies. So we need to have,
you're raising.
we need, they go down without any help from anyone, but we need to raise them. So Fran is there to raise us and lift us up. And I think, Fran, that having that championship behind you really shines as you lift people up, to lift not only their glutathione, but to lift the level of belief and understanding and vibration. And I believe somehow that alignment is not an accident. I'm really excited for our audience to get to know that about you. We have all of Fran's links to connect with her on social media, on Facebook, on LinkedIn, on Instagram. You can call her, you can email her. Fran has a booking link. There's all different ways to reach her. So if anybody's watching tonight live and you have a question, you can pose it, and Fran will get back to you. And I would assume, Fran, that you're open for business all the time, right?
Yes, not 9 to 5, believe me, not 9 to 5.
Well, Fran, it's been an honor and a pleasure to have you and Dave here. And it seems like a celebratory night because we have Lori's anniversary and you and Dave here. And my husband is watching the show, so he's watching it in the other room. So I want to thank you for being here. And Lori, if you have any parting comments to Fran and Dave, by all means, but I just want to say that I love that you're with us, and thank you so much for sharing your life and your kind words and advice with us.
Thank you for the friendship.
Yes, thank you so much for being with us tonight. Enjoyed hearing your story and having your husband join us.
I'm glad he joined too.
I'm glad I came. Absolutely.
Thank you. Don't go anywhere. Stay with us right now if you can while we wrap up the show, and then we'll talk to you off the record, so to speak. So Lori, if somebody's watching tonight and they're saying, I want to be Fran and Dave, first of all, they want to be married 54 years, they have to speak to Fran and Dave. But if they want to be on the show, if they want to talk about their gratitude story, what's going to happen when someone says, I want to sit in that chair and I want flowers and my husband next to me and I want to share my story? What do they have to do to be with us?
Yes. Well, first of all, you're going to have to wait a year. So we are right now booking in 2023. And I think we're at close to the end of 2023 already too. But so send us your gratitude story. So we love to hear, obviously, gratitude stories. So go to facebook.com/gratitudegirls. Make sure you like the page. Make sure you add it to your interest so you get notified of when we go live, and you can watch other great shows. and then click to send us a message there. Tell us your story. Make sure you give us your contact information so we can get a hold of you and let you know when you can be featured on our show next. And also go to our website at gratitudegirls.com. You can see the last 10 years of once a month, every
Wow.
single month, a Gratitude Girls show, and all the different guests that we have had. And we've had some very many amazing stories. So I highly recommend all of you go watch a few of them.
Mhm.
Yes, thank you. There's no need to watch TV. Not that I want any of the actors or actresses or producers to say anything. You can still do that, but you can watch 10 years of the Gratitude Girls show. So thank you so much, Fran and Dave, for being here. Please hang out with us. And thank you to our audience for being here. We have some specials and things that we'd love to chat with you about. So you can find all of that on our pages.
And we'll
Okay.
see you next month, the same Tuesday night, fourth Tuesday night of every month. See you
Oh,
next time,
good night.
everyone.
thank you.
Good night.